Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola show. Today we'll be reviewing the film The Forever Purge. This latest installment in the Purge movie franchise is directed by Everardo Gout. That name is quite the mouthful, even for me. Mr. Gout has had his hands in Days of Grace, Mars, and Romeo and Juliet. Hold on a second. Romeo and Juliet, huh? That doesn't sound like much of a whore guy to me. Maybe that was the problem in this film, but I won't delve into that quite yet. The cast itself of The Purge was actually pretty decent. The Forever Purge, I'm sorry. Decent if you ask me. Will Patton played the Texas ranch owner Caleb Tucker. Will has been involved in horror previously, acting in the 2018 film Halloween, as well as the 2021 film Halloween Kills. One thing that I found interesting about old Willie Boy is that he has narrated quite a few audio books that were written by none other than the master of horror himself, Stephen King. He has a very unique and recognizable voice, that's for sure. Definitely will be something you may want to get into if you're a fan of audio books. Josh Lucas is also in the film, playing Dylan Tucker. I have to admit that I had to give a little chuckle to myself when I saw that Josh Lucas was in this film. Not that he is necessarily a bad actor, don't get me wrong here. I think he is pretty good actually in this movie, but I can't help but think of him in the movie Sweet Home Alabama, playing the romantic lead opposite Reese Witherspoon. Oh goodness. I know he's acted in horror movies before, and I know you horror movie fans out there, I know you guys, are yelling at your computer screens, but CD, he was in American Psycho, for crying out loud. I know, but for whatever reason I can't get him in Sweet Home Alabama out of my head. And so it was tough for me to take him seriously throughout the film. I think it is one of the most difficult things to do for these actors. And, mad props to those that can act in any kind of movie. I think that's a rarity. But we all know some actors get pigeonholed in certain roles. To me, I think of David Schwimmer, a.k.a. Ross Geller, from the TV series Friends, of course, when I think of pigeonholed actors that would have had a tough time being taken seriously in a horror film. To me, he will always be Ross from Friends, unfortunately for him. Comment down below on who you think is an excellent actor, but would be difficult to see them cross over into a serious horror movie role. But continuing on with the Forever Purge here, I digress. I'm going to be dead honest with you. Dead honest. I really enjoy the Purge movies. I'm a fan, and I think that it's a very unique concept. That being said, I honestly think this was the worst of the films in the franchise. I know I'm being a negative Nelly, but it just seemed really rushed to me, and they didn't do a whole lot of explaining on who or what these Forever Purgers were, or really where they came from. It was like all of a sudden there was like half the US population were Forever Purgers or whatever. I just feel like they could have explained far better and expanded on it a little bit, you know? Also, I think they got away from the scary stuff, like the Purge costumes, that have always been a big part of the movies. They did a little bit of that here and there. There were some good costumes, but it wasn't a big enough part of the film. Even the villains of the film, they were a tad weak. I said it, compared to past films, these villains just didn't have a bunch of personality, really. They were just kind of psychotic rednecks, it seemed like. Let me let you Hollywood guys in on a little secret that all of us horror fans, we already know. We don't watch horror movies for the heroes, okay? We watch horror movies for the villains. You really think we watch Freddy, Chucky, and Hellraiser because we want to see the heroes of those movies? Wrong-o! We pay to watch these films because we want monsters, we want psychos, we want ghosts and ghouls, we want things that go bump in the night, baby. Make the villains the real stars of the show, and you'll have us hooked for life. It's that easy. And some of us live a really long time. Trust me on that. That to me was the biggest failure of this movie. It just was plain old not scary, and the villains were crazy weak. I also felt like they could have done so much more with the Texas Wild West theme with this film. To use a little metaphor for you in regards to the film. It sounds like this. We should have been buckling up, cowboy, for a wild ride through the dead of night on a black stallion of death towards our impending doom. Instead, it felt like we were riding a little pony in the petting zoo, around in a circle with the same old boring Purge theme. All in all, this film didn't impress old CD, that's for sure. But maybe some of you enjoyed it, and I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to sit around, drink my blood, look pretty, and talk about horror. That's all I'm good for anyways, nowadays. There has, however, been a lot of talk and rumors swirling about that there may in fact be a Purge 6. I do hope they come back with a Purge 6, and I hope that it is everything that we didn't get in the Forever Purge. I think it could be a pretty tasty surprise for us all if they got back to the horror roots, the real roots, and somehow found a way to spice up this franchise. Let me ask you this. What do you guys think out there in YouTube land? Do you think that the Purge series is tired and done, and they should bury it deep underground? Or should they bring it back from the dead, scarier and nastier than ever? Me personally, being a fan of the Purge, as I said before, I do hope to hear the Purge horn one more time for Purge 6. I would, however, like to thank you all for joining me for this episode of the CD Racoola Show. As always, be a little sweetie Petey and hit the like, share, and subscribe button on down below. Join me next week when I throw it back to 1994 and review the film Interview with a Vampire. I hear AMC is remaking that film, I think into a TV show. Oh goody, next episode will be funny fun time. So until next episode, my little blood bags, ta-ta from old CD.